Hey, I know this walk ain't popular, but I follow where your light goes. I know it's you, nothing impossible. Connected to my album, bro, shining like a light bulb.
Rock Yahuwah. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom, beloved family. All esteem to our great King, all esteem to the Most High, all esteem to the one who exists and reigns forever, all esteem to our Creator, Abinu, Yahuwah Yahusha, that's who you are, Barak Yahuwah. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. Barak Yahuwah. All right, so we're back again, family, with another one. This one is kind of long overdue as well, even though I did speak on this a bit, Barak Yahuwah, but I'm going to dive into it some more so you can really understand what's going on. And as you can see, Yah, Amun, Mighty One. I put the words Deity there, or God, just for search references, on YouTube, because some people will, that's how they will type it in. They won't know Mighty One or anything else, but just so you can be remembered. Deity is the name of a mighty one. It's derived from the name of a mighty one. God also is derived from the name of a mighty one. I only put those words there, or names there, for search references on YouTube. So for those who are in Christianity or those outside the world, that's how they will type in that name, or are typing it that way. So if they type in YAH is a moon, they're not going to say Mighty One. They're going to say God, or they're going to say Deity. So I only put it there so it can be easily found, so they can clearly and truly understand the concept or the deception behind this. Barak Yahuwah. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. So let's jump into it and let's finally put this to bed for some, because I know sorry, I know that at the end of the day, not everyone is going to accept this. Not everyone is going to believe. So let's put this to bed once and for all for some persons. A lot are called, few are chosen. Even though you give some persons, like, you can give them all the facts there is, all the proof there is, you can even show them. And at the end of the day, some people still will not believe, still will not accept. Why? Because Yahuwah says they have rejected the love of the truth. And they have rejected the love of the truth. And for that reason, Yah is going to send them a strong delusion, because they had pleasure in unrighteousness. And for the strong delusion is going to cause them to continue to believe the lies, to believe a lie. So they're going to see the lie as the truth. Sorry. They're going to see the lies as the truth, and then the truth as the lies. So Yahuwah is allowing them to do what they choose, or what they chose. Because every man has been given a freedom of choice. You have a choice to believe the truth, or you have a choice to believe the lies. So if you don't choose to believe Yahuwah and believe the truth, then he's just going to allow you to go to the devil, because that's your choice. So the devil is going to convince you that the lies are true. Because remember, he's the opposer. So if Yahuwah says go up, he's going to tell you to go down. If Yahuwah says stand, he's going to tell you to move, to walk, to run, whatever. He's not going to tell you to stand. If the Most High says to walk, he's going to tell you to stand still. If the Most High says run, he's going to tell you to walk. You get what I'm trying to say? He's always doing the opposite. He's the opposer, the adversary, right? And that's his job right now. That's his role. So it's not about the numbers. It's not about how much people believe this side, or believe this, or believe that. It's never about the numbers. If you notice in the scripture, it's not a whole lot of people that believed. It's always a few. It's always a small amount of persons. Look in the days of Noah. He says, so it was in the days of Noah, or Nuh, so shall it be in our days. Plus, he says a lot are called, only few are chosen. So it's not about what the majority believes. If the majority believes it, then it's off. That's one thing that you got to look at. I mean, look at religion. It's the largest belief system in the world. It's larger than the walk, than this ancient way, this ancient path, which is our lifestyle, which is our culture. And one of these religions is Christianity. And that religion is the largest one in their whole belief system, with over 2.2 billion followers. So when you look at the scripture where Yahuwah says a lot are called, the English people, they use the word M-A-N-Y, but that's derived from the demon name M-A-N-I. All right, so that's why I'm saying much or a lot and not that word. So when you look at the scripture that says much are called or a lot are called, but there's a but, only few are chosen. Broad is the road that leads to destruction, and a lot are on it. Straight and narrow is the road that leads to eternal life, and only few find it. How much persons went on the ark? Only 8. In the book of Revelation, during those last periods of time, I mean, there's over 7.9 or 2 or whatever billion persons on earth. It could be a lot more, because that's just what they give. I know they are not going everywhere on earth to calculate. That's just their statistics, but it's still a lot. Even though we know that in Revelation there's going to be some deaths and all stuff, so the numbers are going to cut down a bit. But even so, when you check it and look at the amount of persons that will be sealed for a special mission, for a special assignment in that time, only 144,000 out of billions of people. So you see, at the end of the day, it's not about the numbers for Yahuwah. It's not about numbers. Remember the time when Dawood numbered Yasharal? Yahuwah punished him for that. So it's not about how much followers you have and all this stuff. That's what the world does. These celebrities are all about the followers, the likes. So you got to step away from the majority, because whenever it's wordly received, something is off. Something is off. Truth is not within it. And then where the truth lies, they label it as a conspiracy theories, or you're cuckoo, or you're in a cult, or they try to find some negative word to put on it. So this is also in reference to what Yahuwah says. They're in the last days as well. They're going to call right wrong and wrong right. They're going to call evil or unrighteousness righteousness, and righteousness unrighteousness. They put the word there, G-O-O-D, but that's also from G-O-D, so I'm not trying to say that. So they're going to call evil light and light evil. Or they're going to call evil right and right evil. Call darkness light and light darkness. Do you understand? That's what the enemy does. Yahuwah is trying to get you to understand how Hashatan works, how the devil works. So if the majority is backing this and supporting this, just like the name Jesus, the world supports and back that name, JC. Then it must be obvious. It must be quite clear that that cannot be his name. Yahuwah did say, because some persons will use scripture to say, the Most High says he shall not return until his name has been brought or spread across the entire earth. Yes, that's correct. But he never said everyone will accept his name. He never said that. He never said a lot of persons will accept his name. He never said a lot of persons will accept him. He only said that when his name is scattered across the entire earth, he shall not return until that happens. So it doesn't mean that everyone is going to accept it, or a majority of persons is going to accept it. And that's where they get things wrong and twist the scriptures. Here's another thing that they get wrong, and this is a doing from Hashatan. This is a device that Hashatan has done, has given. Now, when sharing the truth, when sharing the name of Yahuwah, right? because I've had this question asked a long time ago. This is how I know about it, because someone asked me this question a long time ago. They were listening to what I was saying about, the Mosai's name, the Mosai name not being the Lord or God or not being Jesus. And I told him that his name was, Yahuwah or Yah in the KJV Bible. Psalm 68, verse 4, you see they have it there as Jah, but really it should be a Y because the letter J is less than 500 years old. So it really should be Yah. So I was sharing all this information with the person. The person went on Google, looked up the name Yah, and this is what they found. They found IAH. Some persons put it as a lamad, as the English letter that looks like a hockey stick. So some person put it as a lamad, the English letter that looks like a hockey stick. But in most reference, you'll see it as IAH. And then, as you can see on the screen, it says that it's a lunar mighty one. And ancient Egyptian Egyptian religion, or Mitzrayim is the other word for Egypt. The word JH or JAH simply means moon. That's what it means. It's the Egyptian word for moon. And it is also transcribed as YAH or JAH. So this is the first thing that a lot of persons come across because of what the Google, the internet is doing. Remember, the elites are in control of the internet. So you got to search. You're not just going to easily find these informations today. You got to spend time. This is why Yahuwah says you got to study to show yourself approved unto Yah, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, but rightly handling, dividing the word of truth. Rightly. There is a right way to handle the word of truth, and there is a wrong way to handle the word of truth. And the majority are doing it the wrong way. As I've heard the question, some people will say, the reason why they don't accept it is because they will say, well, so you're telling me then that TD Creflo Dollar, who else? All these other celebrities, mega pastors that you can think of, or even not those mega pastors. They don't just say this in general. So you're saying all these pastors, all these bishops, all these apostles that all pray in the name of JC, they are all wrong and you guys are correct? No, I don't believe that all these people are all wrong. I don't believe that. I don't believe all these pastors are all wrong about JC's name. So that's what I'm going to stick to. That's what I know. And here you go. There's your Yah. Your Yah is a moon mighty one. This is a deception from the enemy because the enemy knows. He knew that Yahuwah is going to reveal his name. The enemy knows Yahuwah's word. That's why he can use the word against us because he knows it. Remember, he used the word against the word. He used the word against Yahuwah. For it is written, throw yourself off the cliff, for it is written, messengers shall catch you so you don't dash your feet against the ground. He knows the word. So he knew that Yahuwah was going to awaken his people, was going to share the name, his knowledge through them, through his Ruach Hadash. And then people are going to search. So he would make a device, a scheme to throw people off. And that's what this one is to show you off. And I'm going to prove that today. I'm going to prove to you that this word right here, this name right here, is not the name of a mighty one. It's Yah's name is not Yahuwah's name. The short form of Yahuwah's name is not the name of a mighty one. The short form of the name Yahuwah or Yahusha is Yah. Some people will say Yahu, but it's really Yah. It's not really Yahu. It's really Yah. The U or the U, the Wa at the end, simply means to add. It simply means to add. And whenever you say his name, Yahuwah Yahusha, you always say Yah first and by itself. Yah-U-Ah. Yah-U-Sha. And I'm going to show you what these names means. I'm going to show you the breakdown, the difference. So this is what the enemy is doing. The enemy is trying to debunk, the truth, because he wants you to continue to believe the lie. He doesn't want you to be awakened to the truth. So let's click on this right here on the Wikipedia, on right here, and let's get some understanding for this. Now it says that IAH, Egyptian J, that weird looking, that backwards looking question sign, and H right in the middle right here, or in the Coptic, this is how it would look, is a minor ancient Egyptian moon mighty one who eventually evolves, transforms, changes into, now this one is a name, KHONSU. This is who he is the mighty one of the moon. And there are few of them. It's not just one, it's not just two. There are a few of them. But I'm going to show you who the moon mighty ones really are. IAH is said to be a mighty one of both time and fertility. He is most notable for creating the ancient lunar calendar. And I'm going to show you how they said that he created it. And then it says that the word IAH simply means moon. It is also transliterated as Yah, Y-A-H, or as Yah, Y-A-W, or Jah, J-A-H, with a W as well, J-O-H, or this one, A-A-H, Ha. This one is key right here. This one is key. Now the 5 days myth, right? Because remember, it says that he's in charge of the ancient lunar calendar. Now the 5-day myths in ancient Egypt or Egyptian myth, the Sun Mighty One, R.A., has cursed the demoness N-U-T so that she cannot have birth or have children on any of the 360 days of the year. The Wisdom Mighty One, T-H-O-T-H, really, he's not just a Wisdom Mighty One, he's another Moon Mighty One as well. And I'm going to prove that shortly, so just bear with me. So the Mighty One, T-H-O-T-H, devised a plan that involved challenging Ha. Notice they did not put I-A-H or Y-A-H. Notice how they put the word or the name this time. This is how they put the word this time, or his so-called name. This is how they put it at the time. There's no Y, there's no J, it's an A, and I'm going to prove it throughout and show you where the misconception falls. Now, A-A-H to a game of this. T-H-O-T-H outsmarted Ha and won enough moonlight to add 5 days to the year. Since though these extra days were not cursed, N-U-T was able to birth a mighty one on each of these days. And she birthed I-S, O-S-I-R-S, and this one, N-E-P-H-T-H-Y-S, and also one of the XGN's favorite, H-O-R-U-S. And also for those who don't know, J-C has a middle initial, J-E-S-U-S-C-H-R-I-S-T. A lot of XGNs today, a lot of CTNs today don't even know there's a H within that name, right in the middle. There's a middle initial, there's an H. So it's really J-E-S-U-S-H-C-H-R-I-S-T. I've always wondered, what does H stand for in his name? This is what the H stands for. This is the name for the H. H-O-R-U-S. Trust me, you got to look this up for yourself. where it says in the book of Revelation 666, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, 66. In the Greek, it's not 666. That's just a number to speak to letters. It's really chi z stigma, which leads back to IHS, which leads back to I would be ISIS, and also it will lead towards ZEUS as well. And the H would stand for there is his name. And a lot of Scythians, Extrians don't know this today. But yet you claim to have such a wonderful and tight relationship with the Messiah, with the Most High. And you don't even know that you didn't even know that he has a middle initial, a initial in his name, in the middle of his name. And even if you do know or knew that there was an H there, you don't know what that H means. So how can you say you have such a great, tight bond relationship with the Most High, with the Messiah, and don't even know what the H stands for within his name? That's like being married to your spouse, whether it's a husband or a woman, for 5 years or whatever years, and don't even know their middle name. Then what do you really know about them? What else could be hidden from you? That's the thing that you're going to question. Why would this person conceal their middle name from you? Why would they hide their true identity? Why would they not tell you this? Why would they not tell you that? You know, it will start to lead to speculations and questions, and now you're going to wonder if whatever is they're saying to you is true. But why not with the name that you have been given? Why don't you question your pastors and these leaders, these bishops, these ones in higher authorities? Why didn't you reveal to us there's an H within his name? And what does the H stand for? And when someone like us tell you the truth, or you see us as cults, or you see us as crazy, being mad, lunatics, whatever the case might be, or we're just lying to you. And I'm going to show you proof as well that he has a name, has an H within his name. I'm going to show you because I love to prove things. I love searching for proof. I love searching for facts. No, these were the mighty ones that NUT was so-called told to have, even though we know that these are demons. And these lead back to Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. So these are just different names for Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Because Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis, especially Nimrod, he was the first man on earth to be worshipped as a mighty one, as an idol. The first human being. I'm not saying he was the first idol. Not saying that. Because if you understand back in creation, the watchers were worshipped in this way. The watchers were worshipped in this way because of what they showed the people. But Nimrod was the first human being, full human being, to be worshipped as an idol, as a mighty one. And his son was also worshipped. And their mother / wife, it's Tammuz's mother and Nimrod's mother, as well as Nimrod's wife, because she got married to her son. She was also worshipped as a moon mighty one. Although celebrating Easter and celebrating that pagan feast with those eggs and bunny rabbits and colors, you have Semiramis to thank for that celebration. That's who you're celebrating. You're celebrating Semiramis because she told the people a story that she came from the moon within an egg. So it's a form of saying, space shuttle, as how you guys would know it, a space shuttle or a plane or a capsule. That was her space shuttle. She came from the moon inside of an egg. And that's why today they worship Semiramis as a moon mighty one. And today, in today's time, that's how you worship her, by celebrating that pagan feast, Easter. No, So this is how the 5 days came about, the additional 5 days. So instead of it being 360 days, now it's 365 days because of what THOTH did. So he added 5 days which were not cursed by the Son Mighty One, R.A. Barak Yahuwah. Now, before I go anywhere else, let me show you real quick that he has an H within his name. Show you real quick. And there you have it. This is right here on the Wikipedia. JESUSHCHRIST. There you have it. And they'll try to give you what the H stand for. So what does the H stand for in JC's name? It is impartially rather, Latinized form, the IHC component is rendered JHC or JHS. This is the origin of the interjection, which seems to imagine that H is JESUS middle initial, and CHRIST is a surname or last name, rather than his title. HOKHRISTOS, which they claim to be the anointed, but that's false. So you can go look it up for yourself what it stands for. But they'll give you a false meaning what it stands for. But again, what I'm trying to show you is, and here you have the Greek, the chi-c stigma, or the IHIC, or the IES. If you go look this up in the Greek, you'll be shocked to your finding. But that choice is yours, which I know most will not do. So I'm just trying to show you that he has an H within his name. And most don't know. And they'll try to say it's a title. They'll try to debunk this in every way possible. But your question should be, why was it hidden from you? Why is it that majority, you got 2.2 billion followers in Christianity. And in this 2.2 billion followers, I can guarantee you that more than 50% of these followers did not know that he has an H within his name. Or even if they do know, I can guarantee you then, let's say that 50% knew, 50 did not know. Well, I can guarantee you that more than 50% don't know what the H stands for. Because as you can see, even though they still can't even show us or tell us what the H stands for. See, they still can't even tell us what the H stands for. Now, they'll try to tell you, but it'll definitely be a lie. And most will still believe it. Now, let's go over to THOTH, and let's see who he is. They say he's the mighty one of wisdom, but nah, he is the moon mighty one as well. As you can see, here's his face. He looks like a type of bird, and he has like a symbol on his head. That's the crescent moon that he has on his head. Now, who is the Egyptian mighty one? THOTH. The Egyptian mighty one, THOTH, was the mighty one of the moon, reckoning, learning, and scribes. So THOTH is the mighty one of the moon as well. Moon, medicine, science, magic, and judgment. So as you can see, he is the mighty one of the moon. Now let's jump into something else, another research. So as you can see, some persons put it as a lamad. But I'm going to show you what it should be. It's really an AAH. Now let's scroll down a bit. Here he is again. That's THOTH, as you can see right here, and also this one. So this is who he is. So they will try to tell you that there's a lot of mighty ones in the Egyptian time, but it really speaks. It's just one person. It's really one person. It leads all the way back to really Nimrod, Tammuz, and Semiramis. So the Sun Mighty One really is Nimrod. The Sun Mighty One is really Nimrod. The moon mighty one in a way is Samaramis, and that's how they see and worship her. And then Tammuz would be Nimrod's son, which would be the son of the sun mighty one. So they will try to depict him as the moon mighty one as well, because that's his mother. So he's part sun, part moon. So if you notice, this is not as feats, because has as a human type feats, but this one has the same animal bird type feats, which is THOTH. And remember, they says it evolves into KHONUSU, right? Remember, that's what Wikipedia says. So this is really his name. Now I'm going to show you that the word is not a name, but actually a word for something in Egypt. And I'm going to show you what the word would be in our time. And I'm going to show you what the word would be in Hebrew as well. It's a word. It's not a name. That's why I can say or Yah, as it's not a name in Egypt for something. It is for us. It is the name of the Most High. It is the short form of the name Yah or Yah. It's the short form of the name Yahuwah or Yahusha. But it's not really a name to speak to an idol. Now, let's listen to this. All right, so it says, of course, the complexity of the controversy of Yah stem from the term similarity to the early form of the name for the modern mighty one of the Jews. YAHUAH, right? Extrians or Scythians and Muslims, as well as the fact that their ancestors were so intermingled with those of the Egyptians. In fact, this distinctive attribute of this mighty one makes research on his ancient Egyptian mythology all the more difficult. Why? Little is really known of this mighty one's cult or culture. And this is another thing as well. Cult really cult really shortens for culture. A lot of people don't even look at it like that, but that's what it really is short for, culture. That's what they're saying. That's your culture. So you're saying, oh, you're in our cult. So when they think, when you think cult is something that's really bad, then that means culture would be bad. So your culture would be bad then. So you're saying all cultures are bad. I'm not saying all is bad. Some are, but not all. So when they say cult, it's just a short way of saying culture. But they made it seem as if it's something that's pagan or wicked. Cult is just a short form of saying culture. You see? So this person goes on to say, and there is no references, proof facts to actual temples or locations where he might have been worshipped. There is no references to actual temples or location to where he might be worshipped. Why? Because he's searching for him in the wrong name. Because his name is not Yah or IAH, Ia, or not Ah, or not La. That's not his name. This is his name, THOTH or KHONSU. And there's another form of his name as well. That's his name. So it's just a disguise that Hashatan created this so he can throw those off who wants to know the true name of the Most High. So it's just a distraction. It's just a smoking mirror. Now, let's get into the word and find out what this word truly means. Is it the name of a mighty one, or is it a word for something in Egypt? It's a word for something in Egypt, but what is it? What is it a word for in Egypt? Let's dive into that. No, this is a website called the Sesh Kemet Egyptian Scribe. right? So right here, they show you all the Egyptian letters, their meanings, their etymologies, their mighty ones, and all that stuff. So just like how we have a Hebrew, ancient Hebrew website, as you can see at the top of my screen, ancient Hebrew dictionary, the Aleph. Let me show you what it looks like. These are their letters. As you can see, it's quite similar. These letters, some of them are quite similar to those of Abarit. Why is that? Because remember, Hashatan copies. He cannot create his own things. So he has to use Yahuwah's creation and corrupt it to make it look like him, to make it look disfigured and all that stuff. So the same way Hashatan can't make man is the same way he can't make languages. Remember, Yahuwah was the one that did this. So this is just a form of Hebrew, but with twists in a twisted way. So as you can see in the screen, they look like images of things. Let me try to zoom it up. But you can go look up the Egyptian, the ancient Egyptian letters, and you'll see for yourself. So there you have it. There on your screen, you can see it. There's a man sitting. Then you got this type of banana. You got this rope twist. You got this leaf. You got this arm and hand. If you look closely, it's a arm and hand. You got this bird. So it's similar to that of the Asian pictographic language. This could be an eye as well. So it's very similar. Very similar. Let me go back. Leave it right here to that zoom up height. All right, so let me show you the Asian Picto from Jeff A's website. So this is Asian-Hebrew.org, right? This is the Aleph, and it's a picture of an ox head, the head of an ox. And these are the letters. So here you got the arm and the hand, similar to what you saw on the Egyptian one. Here you got the rope twist, similar to what you saw on the Egyptian one. Here you got the eye. Here you got one that kind of looks like the leaf. So you see it's similar. So this is where it's from. This is where the Egyptian language is copied from Hebrew, from Abarit, Barak Yahuwah. I just wanted to show you guys that. Now let's go back to this. So we're back at IAH, right? Or Ah. So as you can see, IAH, MDC, I don't really remember what this stands for, but Gardener, IA. So these are like different languages in a way, or different forms of languages in a way. Then you got then you got alternative Egyptian, you got the J, you got the backwards question sign, you got the H, or you got Jah, simply as Jah. The transliteration is see? It keeps on going back to AAH. The Coptic, this is a weird one. This is weird. So these are different form of how it's written in different languages. Here we got the Hebrew. And in the Hebrew, they put the E there, but it's not an E. I'm going to show you how it's correctly spelled. Because here in the modern, you got the Yad, you got the Rosh, and you got the Hak, which is the 10th wall. So you got YRCH. But here they put it as YAREAH. So this would be Yara. Yara. In the Greek, it's IACH or Jah. JAH, right? Or this weird looking Greek one. In the Greco-Roman, it's JH or He-Ha. The Metic English Kemetic YIAH, alternative JAH with a W or Ja or Ya. Pronounce Ha. Some have claimed Ya or IA needs reference. It means moon. Semitic roots, it means moon. And here they got back the moon mighty one again, but this time with a face and with the moon over his head. So, as you can see, these are different ways. So it's pronounced Ha, and it means moon. So this is the word for moon. So if you were saying moon in Egypt, you will simply say Ha or Ya or I. And I'm going to show you why. Now, when we go back to the Hebrew, here it is. Hebrew is Yara. It's also, this is the word for moon in Hebrew, or ancient Abarit. Let me try to show you that on the screen. But first, let's go to the Strongs to prove this. Let's go to the Strongs. All right, so we're at the Strongs. We're at Genesis 37, verse 9. This is the Strong's KJV. Let me show you what it looks like. So if you want to download this app, you can. Hold on 1 minute. Let me go back to the home screen. All right, there we are. So this is what it looks like. SKJV. So it means the S stands for strong. Strong's KJV. And this is the emblem or the logo of what it looks like. It's a white picture with the Aleph and the Tar within it, or the Aleph and the Beit. So that's what it is. The Aleph and the Beit. So this is the Strong's KJV. This is what it looks like. So if you go on Google or Play Store, this is what you should be searching for, right? YAHUAH. Now, go down at the bottom. This is where you get the different scriptures or books, rather. This is where you can click and find the books like Genesis, Exodus, and all that stuff. And then next to that, you got the search icon. And this is where you can type in words. If you want to search words, or if you want to look up Strong's numbers, you would click on this number sign to look up the Strong number. So if you know the Strong's number or the Greek number, you can simply just type it in instead of typing a word. Now, what I did was click on the search icon, typed in the word moon, and it showed me the verses that has this word moon. Now, we're at Genesis 37, verse 9, right? And as you can see, moon. Well, let me click on it. It pops up. You got the same thing that we saw on the Egyptian website. You got the Yad, the Rash, and the Hat. Now, right here, it has it in a similar way, but notice they place a CH here. So it says from the same as 3391. This is the Strong's number. So instead of typing moon, you can just simply put this number, 3391, and it will bring up this Yara. So it means the moon, right? The moon. Barak Yahuwah. So that's what the Hebrew word is for moon. Yara. 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 The C is silent, so you focus on the H. So it's ah. Ya, ra, ra, yara, yara. There is no E in the Hebrew language. Let me show you. Barak Yahuwah. All right, so for those who don't know this one, Barak Yahuwah. Sorry. Ashatan seems to be trying to choke me. He doesn't want this information to come out, Barak Yahuwah, but it's definitely going to come out. All right, so we are at a PDF that I've created. You know, if you want to learn about the Hebrew language, learn about the Hebrew letter, I've done several videos on the channel. There's a playlist where you can watch them all, so you can go there and watch them. So this is the Abrit Dabarim, right? Barak Yahuwah, Abrit Dabarim. In the ancient Hebrew, it reads from right to left. So you read from here to here. In the East, in the Western culture, we read from left to right. So there's no IV of Jew. IV of Jew. That's how Yeshai puts it. And it's easy to remember. There's no IV of Jew. Now, how is this easy to remember? There is no intervention. IV stands for intervention. There's no intervention of Jews. There's no intervention of the Jews within the ancient Hebrew language. So the Jews did not get to intervene with this language. Yes, with their modern language, they intervene with it because they add those Nikud system, Nikud vowel pointings and dots. But in the ancient, there is none of that. They did not get to tamper with the ancient Hebrew language. Only the new one, the one that they call modern. So there's none of these letters within it. There's no I, there's no V, there's no O, F, J, E, W. So for those who like to say Vayikra, it's not Vayikra. There's no V in the operator. For those who like to use the E like for Alahim or Alua, some will say the E way. There's none of that. It's not that. That's not how it should be. For those who like to call Yahuwah Yah W-E-H, that's wrong as well because there's no W, there's no E within the Asian Hebrew. So you got to go back to how his name was originally. So the culture is Easter. The concrete thought process uses our five senses. So when you're breaking down these words in the concrete form, it would be in ways that would use the five senses. So it'll be, if you're going to break down the meaning for the word, it's going to be in a way that it can be seen, smelled, touched, taste, or heard. If you get what I'm saying. Barak Yahuwah. So the senses are see, smell, touch, taste, hear. We know that already. Barak Yahuwah. Here I've broken down one of the words that we love to use, shalom. It's not shalom. There's no O in the operator, so it's not shalom. It's shalom or shalom. So you could pronounce it shalom or you could pronounce it shalom. Always depends on the tongue, the dialect of the tongue. So this word, we regularly know it as, or in a simple case, it means calmness, right? Or the original way that we know it was P-E-A-C-E. But P-E-A-C-E is the name of a mighty one. Now, I've already done that video exposing that as well. So you can go on the channel and find that. So the best simple English word to use for this is calmness. Calmness. But what does it mean if we should break this down in the concrete using each letter? So it would be to destroy the authority connected to disorder. To destroy the authority connected to disorder. So it's an action word. It's a verb. Shalom is an action word because that's how Abarit is. It's action packed. Yahuwah is all about action. Yahuwah is not just mighty one who does lip service, who says he's going to do something and then don't do nothing. He's one that proves it. He's one that loves to show it in his action. If he says he loves you, he's going to show you that he loves you. He's going to prove it to you as well. So this is why he says you should not only be hearers of the words, but doers also. These are who guard his commands, who keep themselves unspotted from the world. So if you notice, when he gives commands, they're always in an action way, a doing way, because that's what we must do. So this is the true meaning for the word shalom or shalom. To destroy the authority, destroy the mighty one, the authority that's in charge or connected. Connected, you can say in charge of disorder. So you say shalom unto the person or shalom unto the oath. So you're asking Yahuwah to destroy the mighty one of disorder over the house or over that person's life. But this is not what we are about. I'm just giving you some understanding to the Abarit. Now we move on to Yahuwah, because remember they say Yah is the name of a mighty one, right? And some people say, oh, they don't use the name Yah. They don't use it. They don't say it and all the stuff and nonsense. But it's nonsense, because in order for you to say Yahuwah, you have to say Yah. In order for you to say Yahusha, you have to say Yah. In order for you to say Jeremiah's Hebrew name, Yaram Yahu, you still got to say Yah. In order for you to say Isaiah's Hebrew name, Yasha Yahu, you still got to say Yah. So there's no way you can escape saying Yah. Sorry. Now, when you look at the Hebrew word for moon, it is what? Yara. The Hebrew word for beautiful, it's Yapa. So it's hard to avoid not saying his name when he has placed his name all over these words and all over his creation. So here we have the yad, the arm and hand, stretch out arm and hand. Then you got the hey, the man with the arms raised. Then you got the wah. Then you got the hey. It will give you YHUH. So Yahoo plus Shah equals Yahusha. Yasha is the Hebrew word which means deliverance. Yasha is spelled YASHA. You don't need to put YA there because you already got the Yah's name there. You already got the Yah. So the Shah is the root part of Yasha. The Shah is the root part of the word Yasha. So you don't need the YA. So all you need is the Shah. So you add Shah to Yah's name, and you get Yahusha. Yasha, or Shah means deliverance, redemption. So when you attach this, you're saying Yah adds redemption. Yah adds deliverance. So Yahuwah, Yasha, or Yahusha is really Yah adds deliverance. Yahusha. So Yahuwah, Yahusha means Yah who adds breath, or Yah who created man and add breath into man, or Yah who formed man with an outstretched arm. He formed man, then he add breath to man, because another word for another meaning for the hey, the letter hey, the H, the man with the arms raised, is breath or life. So when Yahuwah formed man, and as you can see, you can look at it and see it. The pictograph gives you a message, a picture. That's why it's called a pictograph. It paints a picture. Remember when we were growing up and when we were younger, they would always give us books with pictures because we use our senses to learn. The seeing, the touching, the hearing, the feeling. It's easier for us to learn if we see it. For most of us as human beings, we learn a lot faster if we see someone else doing it. That's why TikTok, Instagram, these videos today, these challenges today, these dances today, that's why it's so easily learned, because you see the person doing it, and all you got to do is repeat what they're doing. But if you didn't see the person doing it, you're just hearing the person say, lift up your hands, move from right to right, go up and down. You would just be doing that in a way that would not look so neat. When you see the person doing it in a certain way, or if they should give you like in this way, lift up your hands about 3 inches from your head. Move it 60 degrees to the right or whatever degrees to the left. You'll be like, huh? It will be a lot confusing. It will be a lot harder if they should give you the instruction, the movements, the precise movements of every part of your body, the position that your body should be in. If your hand should be your left hand should be in a 70 degrees or 75 degrees position, eastwardly, westwardly, it will be a lot hard for you to figure out. So Hashatan knows this, and that's why Yahuwah made the picture. And Hashatan knows this. He knows that's how we learn. That's why he invented also the television or the tell-a-vision. That's why Hashatan always gives you a vision. That's why Yahuwah gives you a vision or a dream as well. You learn a lot faster. So when we go to sleep, we get dreams. Or some of us in waking life will get visions. Hashatan can give dreams and visions as well. Read Dabarim or Deuteronomy 13 and you will see it. Yahuwah says if a dreamer of dream or a prophet gives you a dream or a vision and it comes to pass, Yahuwah says it will come to pass, but that person is going to lead you astray. He's going to lead you away from Yahuwah to go and serve other mighty ones. He says, do not believe him, for I have not sent him. So Hashatan is able to come within your dreams. Why? Because when you dream, when you go to sleep, your body, well, not your body, rather, your soul, your spirit, it goes into the spiritual realm. When you get a vision, it's your spirit that's getting a vision. It's your spirit seeing what is taking place, what is happening in the spiritual realm. You can either see the truth or you can see a deception of the truth. You can see a lie. So you got to be very, very careful with visions and dreams. Always seek Yahuwah for the interpretation. always. So Hashatan knows this because that's something that Yahuwah did with Adam and Hua. So he knows. So that's why he would always try to give you a vision to visualize, to use your imagination to see yourself doing it. And then he will come with this talk to manifest it, to manifest this into being. That whole thing is a nonsense, a lie about manifestation. That's a deception as well. To manifest your husband, to manifest success, to manifest money. That's a lie. That's spiritualism. That's a part of New Age wickedness. Don't fall for that trick, everyone. So, as you can see, by looking at it, you can get a message from this, especially with understanding the scriptures, where it says that Yahuwah formed man and he blew breath, he added breath to the man's body, through the man's nostril, right? You can see it in his name. You can see the hand of Yahuwah, the right hand of Yahuwah. Who's the right hand of Yahuwah? That's Yahusha. That's why he says Yahusha went back to the right hand. He's seated at the right hand of Yahuwah, because he is the right hand of Yahuwah. So when they put seated, it should be he went back. Yahuwah is the right hand of Yahuwah. He went back to the hand of Yahuwah. But this English keep messing with you. These elites keep messing with you through English. And they put all these things there that should not be there, that is not there in the Abarit, in the ancient Hebrew. So when you look at his name, you see that he's one. He's not two. It's Yah who adds deliverance. It's not another person that adds deliverance. It is Yah himself that adds deliverance. Another way to look at this backwards. Another meaning for the hay is behold. This is a picture of a nail, a ten peg or a nail. So it's behold, nail, behold, hand. Behold the nail, behold the hand. So Yahuwah is saying from left to right, to us in the Western hemisphere, from left to right, because he knew that so we would view this, we would read this backwards until someone taught us that we should look at it this way. So when we see it backwards, we see, if we know the meanings, behold the nail, behold the hands. So what is Yahuwah saying? Yahuwah is saying, behold my nail-dead hand. Behold my nail-dead hand. No, how could Yahuwah be saying, behold his nail-dead hand, if it's his son who was nailed it? And it also in the picture, it shows you who did it. It gives you a clue to who nailed his hand. Man did. The same man that he made. Well, not Adam, but man that he made. Man did this to his hand. Barak Yahuwah. So here we have a word for Alahim. Alahim means mighty ones. Mighty ones. Barak Yahuwah. Alua is a singular form, which means mighty one. This is the word for who we are, our name, Yashar Al. Yashar is the Abrit word, which means to be upright, straight, or honest. It means to be upright, straight, or honest. Of Alua or Al. Upright, straight, of Al, Alua. Shama is the Hebrew word for joy. And in the concrete, it means to destroy the disorder inside the tent wall or in the surrounding. Now, here we have the word Yara, right? We have the Yad, the Rash, and the Ha. So that would be a Y-R-C-H. Now, the Ya makes a Ya sound. The Y rather, the Yad makes a Ya sound. So that's how you get the A. So the A is just imaginary. Let me highlight this so you can see what I'm talking. These A's are just for sounding, for pronunciation. So they're not really there. As you can see, it's just Y-R-C-H. Now, if I put Y-R-C-H, you would not know how to pronounce it. So this is how the A's come in, based on the sound that the letter makes. So the Y, the Yad, makes a Ya sound. So you have Ya. The Rash makes a Ra sound. Ra. So Ya, this by itself is Ya, and then the Rash with the Hat together, you get Ra. Because remember, the C is silent. So it's Ya-Ra. And that's the Hebrew word for moon. Now, remember, in one of the research that we were looking at, in one of the findings, it says that the Hebrews were intermingled with the Egyptians, and we know this to be true. It's when our ancestors were in Egypt or Mizraim for 430 years. Now, remember, they would have known the name Yah or Yahuwah. They would have known his name at some point. Some would not know, some would know, because remember when Moses asks for the Most High's name, he says, "Who shall I tell the people that has sent me unto them?" And he says, Ahaya, 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 Ashar, Ahaya. I, the Yah, strong, sharp head of man, I am the Yah. I am the Yah, the one that you have heard about from the days of Adam and Hu and all the others before you. So that's what he was saying. Then he says, tell them this, that Yahuwah, the allure of their fathers. So they would have heard stories about Yahuwah. They probably would not know Yahuwah like that. Some, but the older ones would have known the name that Marsha would have said. So that's why he asks, because there were so much mighty ones about. So he wanted to identify who he spoke to the people, so the people could know that he was talking about the Most High, the Creator. So some of the folks of our ancestors, the younger ones, they would not know Yahuwah. Just like us today. Some of us did not know Yahuwah like that. We didn't know his name. We come to learn about it through our ancestors. So it was in Egypt. And that's why some of us today don't know it. There's chance for us to know it, but we didn't spend the time. Even some of our grandparents, great-grandparents, they didn't take the time to really dive into studies. They followed man. And Yahuwah says, curse is the man who makes man his trust, or who puts his trust in man. The blind leads the blind. So for those ancestors who died, our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents who died and did not know the name Yahuwah, that's their choice. That's their fault. They chose not to know because they made their pastors, their bishops, their apostles, their leaders, their trust instead of the Most High. If they truly reach out with a heart to seek Yahuwah, to repent, a heart of true repentance, then they would have known the name. But it's not all. Some did, and that's how we still know it today. Some did, but not all. Again, it's not about the numbers. A lot are called, few are chosen. Remember, even when they came out of Mizraim, it's not everyone that really came out. Because some, their hearts were still in Egypt. And for that reason, they murmured and they complained against Yahuwah. And Yahuwah did what? He killed them. So do you see how this ties in today in our time? So when our ancestors were in Mizraim, they would have known Yahuwah's name. And they would have known the name or the word for the moon. It would be Yara. The word for beautiful is Yapa. Let me write it on the screen real quick so you can see how to spell it. So it is Yapah. It's really YPA, or it's really Yad and the Pei and the He. So it's Yapa. That's the Hebrew word for beautiful. So if you should say Yapa Yara, you're saying beautiful moon. Yapa Yara, Yada Yahuwah. You see how much Yah is in all that I just said? Every word that I just said, it has the YA within it. Yapa Yara Yada Yahuwah. So let me write that on the screen real quick. Yapa Yara Yada Yahuwah. Do you see that? All got YA. Yah. Yapa, Yara, Yada, Yahuwah. Yada means thank or thanks. So if you want to say thank you in Abarit, in Hebrew, you would say Yada Atah. Atah is the word for you. Let me write it right here. So that's how it would be spelled. Ata. Ata. So Yapa Yara Yada Ata Yahuwah. So you're saying beautiful moon. Thank you, Yahuwah. So our ancestors would be saying this when they saw the beautiful moon at night. They would be crying out to Yah, they would be crying out to Yahuwah to rescue them, to deliver them. And then when they see the moon, they would be saying Yapa Yara, Yadata Yahuwah. So the Egyptians, when they heard this, remember the Egyptians, they worship mighty ones, they worship idols. So when they saw the people looking up at the moon and saying Yapa Yara, Yada Yahuwah, or something Yahuwah, they taught the Hebrews, our ancestors, were worshiping the moon as their mighty one. Because they did that. They worshiped the moon as their mighty one. So they thought the Hebrews were following them, were doing the same. Or they were trying to imitate the Hebrews. So when they heard us saying Yara, that's how they came to the name Yah. So they thought the name Yah is the name for the moon that they worship, the moon mighty one that they worship. Do you see that? Do you understand now why it is today that they call it by that name? But if you notice, as I've shown you guys, the name for the moon mighty one that they serve and worship are two names that they have given us. There are a couple more, but the two names are Thoth, and then the other one is Khonsu. Those are the two names so far. So when they say Yah or Ia or Ah, it's really Thoth. That's who they're talking about. Ah in Egypt or in Egyptian tongue, Egyptian language, is just the word for the name of the moon in their tongue, in their language. For us in Hebrew, it would be Yara. And for us in English, it will simply be moon. So Ia or Ya or Ah or La is not a name for an Egyptian moon mighty one. The name of Yahuwah, the short form of the name of Yahuwah, Yahusha, Yah is not the name of a moon mighty one. It's not. It's just Hashatan trying to keep those who are unbelievers from using Yah's name. Hashatan doesn't want us to use the name because there's true deliverance and power within his name. As you can see, there's action with these words. These Hebrew words have actions. Just like his name, Yahuwah. Yah adds breath and he adds deliverance. That's what he's doing. He's adding breath and deliverance to us. So that's why I love to say Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. Yah who adds breath is Yah who adds deliverance. He's the one that added breath to us, and he's the one that adds deliverance to us. Hashatan doesn't want that to happen. Yahuwah is adding deliverance to us, and he's also adding breath back to the body, just like the dry bones prophecy. He's putting back he says, can these dry bones live again? And he says, Jeremiah says, you know Yahuwah. And then the bones started to form back at flesh. He started to do what? Form man again with his stretched out right hand. He started to form man. He added breath and deliverance to that man again. And that man is us today, his sons. We are the sons. Yasharal is the son of Yahuwah. So when you look into Yah, it's just a way of Hashatan trying to keep you in bondage, trying to keep you in deceptions, trying to keep you in lies. Because he knew this day would come. He knew the day would come where we would return to the truth. He knew it. He knew this day would come, and that's why he put this plan in place. As you can see on their Egyptian website, the Egyptian word, is not the name of a mighty one, it's just the name of the moon. So that's the word for the moon. So Hashatan knew this, so he devised this mighty one. And that's why on the other website, it says that there's no resources, there's no facts proof of any temples or location where this mighty one was worshipped. Why? Because he was never worshipped. That's not who they worship. They worship THOTH or KHOS or KHONSU. That's who they worship. You can find facts, references, proof to worship of THOTH, but not Yah or Ia or Ah, because it's just a device done by Hashatan. This is why it's important to study to show yourself approved unto Yah. This is why it's important to study languages, to study even your own, your ancestors' tongue, the true tongue of creation, which is Hebrew, which is Abarit. This is why it's important to learn this, to know it. Because if I did not know this, if I did not know Hebrew, Abarit, if I did not know this, if I did not study this, if I didn't humble myself so that Yahuwah could teach me Abarit, then I wouldn't know, I would not be aware of, I would not come to the conclusion to know that Yara was the word for moon. Yapa was the word for beautiful. I would not know this if I didn't study it. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of who we are. It's the heavenly tongue, the tongue that messengers speak in, the tongues that Yahuwah speak in. The tongue is Abarit, Hebrew. This is the tongue that messengers speak in. Remember when Paul had an encounter with Yahuwah? What language did Yahuwah chose to speak in? He could have spoken Greek, because Paul would have known Greek and a few more other languages. But it says that he spoke to Paul in what language, in what tongue? In the Hebrew tongue, in the Hebrew language. He spoke to Paul in the Hebrew language. Even Paul said, are they Hebrews? So am I. You heard about Abraham, or as they wrongly call him, translated, Abraham. It's really Abba, Abraham, father, Abba. The word for father is Abba, so it's really Abraham. So you heard about Abraham being what? Called the Hebrew. You heard Moses being called this as well. Other persons in the scripture being called Hebrews. They were never called XG Scythians. They were never called Muslims. They were never called Jews. They were never called Catholics. They were never called Seventh-day Adventists. They were never called Jehovah's Witnesses. They were never called cultists. None of these words or terms that we know of today. So lucky Yahuwah for saying one of those mighty ones' name. They were never called these things. They were called Abarim, Hebrews, people who have crossed over from this pagan world, from paganism into biblical truth, into truth. That's what it means. That's what Abarit means, to cross over. Abraham, he crossed over. Marsh and the people, did they cross over? Yes, they crossed over the river Jordan. They crossed through the river. They crossed from one side to another. They crossed over. Are we crossing over today? Yes. We're crossing over from this deceptive, dark, lying world into our true culture. We are Abarim. So you need to learn this. You need to study. You need to know. Because if you don't know, then you won't know where the lies and deceptions fall. You won't know what is truth and what is not. All you will be reading is just simply English. And if English says that his name is JC, then that's what you're going to believe. Because that's what I heard from a lot of people as well. Well, in the H Bible, in the H-O Lamad Y Bible, that's what I see in the Bible. I see J-E-S-U-S. I don't see Yahusha. I don't see Yah. I see J-E-S-U-S. So that's the name that I see in the Bible, and that's the name that I'm going to use. But if a lot of them should ask their pastors, not every pastor, their pastor will tell you, well, yes, he has a Hebrew name. That's his original name. But I choose to use the JC name. I choose to use the English form. That's not no English form. Your name doesn't change nowhere in the world. If you go to China, your name is Sarah, right? You go to China, they'll be speaking in Chinese. Domo harigata, yokozo, Sarah. They will say it like that. They will be speaking Chinese, Japanese, or whatever in their tongue. But then when they say your name, they will say it exactly how it is. They will not call you Ah, Sarah. No, not Sarah. You in Japan now. We call you Arigato. We call you Yokushe. They will not say that. They will not do your name like that. If your name is Sarah, then it will be Sarah. You want to find proof? Perfect example we can use today. Look at these different leaders, celebrities, athletes. When Vladimir Putin comes to um the United States, do we change his name from being a Russian name, Vladimir Putin, to being, oh, we will call you Kevin Williams or John Smith? No, his name remained the same. Where Jai Ping comes to the United States or England, do we change his name? Oh, we're going to call you John Brown, or we're going to call you Mike Smith. His name is still Jai Ping. Mr. Ping, President Ping. Football players, runners, celebrities, whatever their names are, their names do not change if they go into another country. Their names do not change because you speak another language. Doesn't matter. Your name cannot be changed because of a language. Your name can be transliterated or translated. To transliterate your name, if you are of China, you would not write your name with using English letters. You will write your name using Chinese letters. If I was from, let's say I was from Egypt, right? I would use these Egyptian letters to write my name. But you who don't know Egyptian would not understand what I'm writing, because right now you're looking at the screen. All you're seeing is just a bird. You can identify the bird right here. You can identify this man sitting. You can identify this look like a knife. If you look closer, you will see that this is a hand. But the Egyptians, they will see it as letters. We would see this as symbols. So if I was an Egyptian, original Egyptian person, this is how I would write my name. But you who speak English or Chinese or Japanese would not understand what I wrote. So no, I would have to write this in a way that you can understand. I would have to write this in English or your country's tongue, your culture's tongue. If I know Chinese, then I'm going to translate it into Chinese by using Chinese letter to write my name. But it will still be the same. If my name is Para, then it will still be Para in China. The Chinese, even though I write it in their language, they will still say, oh, domo arigato, Para. Or Japanese will say, yokozo, Para. They're saying, welcome, Para. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you transliterate a name. You move it from one nation or culture's tongue language into another language without changing the name. All you change are the language form that is in the alphabetic form, but the name will still sound pronounced the same. It has to. If you change the name, then you're changing the identity, and also you're changing the meaning of the name. Let's say the name Para means beautiful sky, and you change it to John. It's no longer beautiful sky. You have changed my name, so you have changed the meaning. If you change blue to yellow, is it still going to be blue? No, it's going to be yellow. So once you change the word, you change the meaning as well. Now, to translate a name, because you can translate a name, I've heard person says that names can't be translated. Yes, names can be translated. Names can be translated. Names can be transliterated. I've done a video on the channel as well, showing you the difference between transliteration, translation, and transmagrification. So the title is called Transliteration versus Translation versus Transmogrification. So you can transliterate a name from Egyptian letters to, let me show you, this is the Egyptian letters, and I'm going to transliterate it over to Hebrew letters. That's what I'm doing. Now, to translate a name is to tell you what the name means. Like for Shama, this is the name in Hebrew. I'm going to transliterate it, give you the letters in your language. So you speak English. So this it would be in your English tongue SH. This would be M, where it is. This would be CH, and this would be H. So to you, that is Shama. And that's also what I'm saying. I'm saying Shama. Let me show you what it looks like. This is it in your English tongue, Shama. But what does Shama means? You don't know. It means to destroy the disorder inside the tent wall or in the surrounding. So now I'm telling you what it means. Just like shalom or shalom. If you say it to people who don't know, they'll be like, what? Shalom, what does that mean? And then you tell them, oh, it means calm or calmness. Or you will say Peace. Oh, so you're saying that unto me. Oh, okay, thank you. The same unto you. No, they understand. So that's what it means to translate a name. And that's what it means to transliterate a name. Now, transmogrification is where you change this from being Shama to something else. Let's say you change it from being Shama to joy or to road. The meaning will also change. So you can go look up these words for yourself. Go watch the video. I'll show proof to that. Transliteration, translation, transmogrification. Go and Google, type in this on Google, and Google will tell you. Go search it in dictionary, in the Oxford Dictionary. Go check it out on etymology.com. Go research this. The proof is right there. You can't rebuttal this. You can't debate it. Unless you are the one that made the dictionary or the language English. So it's right there. So, as you can clearly see, everyone, Yah is not the name of a moon mighty one. It's a deception. It's a lie from Hashatan trying to get us to stay away from the truth by making it seem as if it is evil or it is wicked. That's what the devil is doing. So, you have been given the proofs. The choice is yours. If you believe Barak Yahuwah, if you don't want to believe, I'm going to Barak Yahuwah anyways, because you were warned. So when you get to judgment day and you see Yahuwah, you will have no excuse because Yahuwah revealed his name to you. He exposed the lies and he revealed the truth, but you chose not to believe. And for that reason, according to 2 Thessalonians, he's going to 2 Thessalonians 2, he's going to send you a strong delusion because you rejected the love of the truth. He shall send you a strong delusion so that you can believe a lie because you have pleasure in unrighteousness. You enjoy the things of the world. You love it. It's easy. It's comfortable. So if you don't choose to believe, that's your choice. You will suffer the consequences at the end of the day. You were warned. Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. So I hope once and for all, this will put everyone's doubt into assurance, but not everyone, but at least for those who are seeking truth, for those who are hungry and thirsty after righteousness' sake. Yahuwah says, Baruch are they, respected are they who do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. That's Matthew 5, verse 6. So I hope you're filled. I hope you'll do some more digging, do some more research and verify things. Go into it, research, seek the Most High, pray before you give in to these deceptions and these lies. Barak Yahuwah Yahusha, Rumamu Yahuwah. So again, if you want to learn Hebrew, I've done videos on the channel that you can go back and watch, learning the Abarit and the Asian tongue, Barak Yahuwah. So you can go there, watch these videos and learn it, Rumamu Yahuwah, so you can truly understand the Hebrew language. Let me see if I can show you on the screen real quick, Barak Yahuwah. Let me share it on the screen.
A few moments later.
Barak Yahuwah. So here I am on the channel, Yahuwah's chosen people, Barak Yahuwah. And the playlist, you don't have to go to videos. I've done some in playlists. So you can go to playlists. And here under playlist, you'll see Learning Abarit, Ancient Hebrew. Now, when you click on this, view full playlist. I've done them orderly. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've done 10 so far. So the first one that you need to watch and understand, and if you don't understand this, do not move on until you do. First part is part 1, the foundation. Because in order for you to build a house, you need a foundation first. You need to lay the foundation first. If you don't lay in the foundation, then you cannot build a house. You cannot move on to building the walls and the roof. You need to lay the foundations first. You need to place the feet first on the ground. So you need to understand the foundation first. Then when you understand the foundation, then you can move on to part 2. The first few letters, the Aleph, the Beit, the Gamal, the Dalet, and the He. Then you can move on to the others. Then you will understand and know how to read the Hebrew, to understand, to translate it, to transliterate it, pronounce it, say it, and all the stuff, to break it down. It'll be a lot easier if you understand the foundation. And then move on to different parts. So take your time, do not rush it. This is something that you're not going to learn overnight. This is something that myself or Yeshai, we didn't learn overnight. It took us a while to learn. We had to study. We had to spend time, dedication into this. So don't beat up yourself if you can't learn this within a week. You need to study because you will not learn it within a week. Doesn't matter how fast you learn, how quick you learn, it will still take you time because there's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to understand. There's a lot of revelation that Yahuwah is going to be doing. Plus, the enemy is going to be working at the same time, trying to get you not to learn. So there's going to be a strong battle going on. So you need to stand firm. So go and watch these videos if you really want to learn, really want to understand. And that way, when you learn and understand, even if it's the basic, you learn how to identify the letters and all that stuff. Now you can go to the Strongs and break down these words to get their true meanings. Because a lot of these English translations that they have given us are wrong, are not accurate. Barak Yahuwah, Ruma Mu Yahuwah. So links to this playlist will be in the description. Barak Yahuwah. I'll share it in the description as well. All esteemed to Abba Yahuwah. The email will be in the description for anyone who has questions or something you want to share. Barak Yahuwah. If you just want to reach out to talk and all that stuff, the email will be in the description as always. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Yadata Yahuwah for every single lost sheep that is returned into the flock. And for those who are still left to return to the flock, we thank Abba Yahuwah even though, and we give him all the esteem, we give him all the praise for what he has done, for what he is doing, and for what he is about to do. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. This is Watchman Azar Yahu. I'm signing out on behalf of Yahuwah's chosen people assembly. We like to share our gratitude, our thanks to everyone that has liked, that has shared, that has subscribed, that has supported, this ministry. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. Continue to fight, continue to endure so that you can receive your crown of righteousness. Yes, people will call you crazy. Yes, you won't be popular. Yes, you won't be a part of the large groups, like those who believe the other stuff. And I'm talking about those in the truth as well. Those who say they are in the truth. Those who use the name of Yahuwah, Yahusha. But they don't believe a lot of stuff that we believe. You'll feel like as if you're the only one who believes this or who believes that. But remember, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the large group. But it's about that chosen ones. It's about that few that are chosen. So consider yourself favored by Yahuwah to be a part of the chosen. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Ruma Mu Yahuwah. And as always, I ask Yahuwah to Barakata U Shamarata. Allahu Yah. Shabbat Shalom, beloved family. Ruma Mu Yahuwah.